Welcome, folks. I'm Jaby Koay, joined by Achara Kirk.
Hi there.
And we're watching the last episode of Cobra Kai Season 3. If you're watching this on YouTube, you're going to see a 5-minute cut-down version of our reaction because we're not allowed to show you the entire show. And if you're watching this on Patreon, then you'll see the entire reaction uncut, uninterrupted, but you'll have to have a Netflix account, and you'll open up the episode adjacent to our reaction because we're not allowed to show you the show. That's how that works. But if you're watching this on Patreon, thanks so much for supporting us here. Very much appreciated. If you're watching this on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button and bell icon. All notifications would really appreciate that. All right, here we go.
Này, đi này, đi.
Oh, God.
It is your fault we're in here. But you're wrong about the rest of it. He's not gonna survive this.
Captain, come on, you're the ranking officer.
You looked around, Chris. There's no rank anymore.
Oh, God.
How deep is that pit?
Deep enough. But that's not the worst of it.
What's the worst of it?
Maybe there's snakes in the pit.
Let's get on that sauce. Get it out there.
Daniel with an L.
Oh, God.
I'm so happy to see you.
I just...
Hey, watch it. I'm wearing white here. You think I want that all over me?
That was a callback to the Karate Kid movie.
Remember Johnny Lawrence?
Eagle Fang and Miyagi-Do have to work together.
Aw, I think your cat wants to come in. Here, kitty, kitty.
You had a...
I didn't know you had a cat.
Me neither.
We don't.
No shit. What the hell? What are you doing here?
It's breaking and entering.
Yeah. What the hell?
Heard you were throwing a party. Hope you don't mind if we crash. No mercy!
I love that she's so crazy.
I know you do.
Okay, and then this one comes running out dressed like a toddler in skeleton pajamas, chasing after him. Well, let's just hope that our kids are more evolved than we were.
Oh, God. Damn. Oh, Miguel. Oh, is he gonna go through the glass? Okay.
It does feel that way, doesn't it?
Yeah. There's so much glass. Oh, man. Oh,
Wow,
yeah,
that was awful.
Not great. Damn. Oh, girl fight. Let's go. Come on, Sam. Showdown in the dojo. Okay, come on, breathe. Focus. You got this, girl.
Where's Robbie?
I don't know. Guess he didn't come. Damn. She's gonna let her. Hey. Okay.
Guess I'll have to make my own fun.
I hope you know how to use that, girl.
Okay, you guys really like fighting each other. You say one thing and then you say the opposite. You both think there's only one side to the story.
I know, there's two.
No, there's three. There's your side, and then there is the truth. You guys are more alike than you want to admit. And maybe you recognize parts of yourselves in each other, and maybe you don't always like what you see.
Deep.
I guess it's possible. Some small part of all of this is my fault.
Me too. I just wanted to say, the way things ended with us,
We were so young. The good times far outweighed the bad, and that is how I will always remember it.
me too.
Oh, gosh. The trouble's already happening. Come on.
Those nunchucks still have the pads on them, by the way.
She does not. I mean, she doesn't really know how to use them. But, I mean, you can still have a lot of damage. You hurt Mr. Miyagi.
You're the only one who could get up when you're down.
Yeah, close your eyes right now and she can smack you. Yes. What do you have? You have reach. Get it.
He keeps taking falls to the back.
Fuckers never had a chance, baby. Get it. Come on, Rhea.
What are you doing, dude?
Listen, you came into my dojo, you were softer than a baby's ass.
Look around. No, 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 no. Don't let him do that.
Free shot.
He's your friend. Kick to the face. Get it. I like the little eagle sound. That was fun.
Look, man, I'm sorry.
Cute.
Nice
Oh.
gainer.
Damn. Oh, God. Ah.
I don't know if you can hear me, kid. I know you got it in you to pull through. I know you can.
Whoa. What was that?
He landed on his feet. That's the point. Instead of getting flipped onto his back.
Nice. What?
Oh, what? That was actually pretty cool.
Yeah, what move was that? That was cool.
I don't know. It was cool. Get rid of the weapons.
Okay.
This will never be over, LaRusso. You hear me? You know where to find me.
So who is this hot lady I hear you've been seeing?
So that's what you and Amanda snuck off to talk about.
She's amazing.
You really like her. Thanks for making me feel like a kid again.
What?
Seen the Facebook picture. She's all like, or else she's just pissed.
Carmen, hi. What's wrong?
You got it.
Oh, he's gonna have to go up against his sensei? No.
Hi.
I'll go. I'm sorry it has to end for you like this, Kreese.
Does he fall into the pit of snakes and survive? Is that why it's Cobra Kai?
God damn.
They're mostly pythons, but they would just squish the life out of you. Just gonna find Robbie in there. No, oh, what the hell? Don't break the arm.
Crazy.
Oof.
Sensei Kreese is right. I can't be my own worst enemy, but you can be.
Stop! I'll fight you. You are weak.
Damn.
Oh, shit.
Robbie, you okay?
He's just gonna run away, isn't he?
It's over, Kreese. Don't pull me up. That's an order. Come on. What are you waiting for?
I won't make that mistake again. No mercy.
Kreese!
You can't just murder him.
He came into the studio.
Oh. Robbie's gonna come. No. Oh!
You came after my daughter, you wanted her to fight, you son of a bitch. Now you go!
Come on! Ooh. Oh, bare feet. Ouchie. Oh gosh.
If an enemy insists on war, then you take away their ability to wage it.
You're a quick study.
Oh, don't undercut the tension.
Keep your Cobra Kais
Away from our kids. It's a free country.
Not for you. Cobra Kai's gotta go. For good.
Why don't we settle this the old-fashioned way? Tournament.
I was wondering.
If we lose, I go. If you lose,
We won't lose.
Who are you gonna go with, Robbie?
get out of here. All of you. Come on, son.
Ugh.
I owe you this. Anything you need, I'm there for you. Your whole life.
He's probably like some rich kid and he's calling in favors and shit.
Hey, long time.
What does he do? Oh my god! The music! Woo!
Let's begin!
Ow, ow, ow! Yay!
That was cool.
I mean, we knew this was coming since, like, what? I want to. All the seasons are jumbling up. I feel like season 2 or something, it was kind of hinted at that they would have to come together. But now they finally are. Thank God for Allie and her, like, dropping truth bombs here and there and just kind of making them see eye to eye, finally.
Yeah.
Leave it to the ladies to be like, come on, boys. Let's play nice.
What did you think of... Okay, well, first off, I just enjoyed the shit out of that ending.
Yeah.
The fact that they all came together was what I was, like, longing for. I was kind of hoping for a 2-on-1 fight scene with Kreese, and I thought that it would all wrap up here. The ending notion is that they bring their schools together. Right? And that's done. But, like, they want to push it for a season 4, so that's fine.
Yeah, no, I've seen season 4 come up on IMDb, so it's definitely happening.
Okay, well, there you go.
Yeah.
I was not expecting that. I thought that this was going to finish up here, but it's fine. I mean, if they decided to end the show there, I would have been content. Like, I can see where this is going to go. I would have rather had Robbie, rejoin his dad at the end there, but...
That'll be at the end of season 4.
Right.
I'm sure. Yeah, like that final reconciliation moment that we've all been waiting for like Johnny to be able to come around full circle and kind of step up and be the man that he was always meant to be, and like step up and be a good father and be a good sensei and just be an all-around good guy.
Yeah. I think that, Johnny's character overall has come a long way.
Yes.
I think they've done a fantastic job with, like, having his growth throughout the seasons. I mean, he's the character that has transformed the most.
Yeah.
Throughout the show, I think in a very, very strong way. More than anyone else. I mean, him and Miguel, I suppose. What's his name with the mohawk?
Hawk, yeah.
Shifting sides at the end was... It worked for the show. It was fun.
Yeah.
The good thing is that they planted it.
Exactly.
They planted it early on.
Several episodes earlier, so it didn't just come out of nowhere. And I like that. They just kind of like plant the seeds, and they've been doing that, which makes me think that maybe they've had an idea of how many seasons they wanted to do from the start. Because apparently they did seasons 1 to 3 all together already.
Oh, really?
Well, I think I read someone wrote in a comment or something that I read that they had actually just like shot seasons 1 to 3 ever since it was just going to be on YouTube, and then so it's like they knew kind of where they wanted to go, and so now season 4 is happening.
Okay, so how did you feel about how much they cut back to Vietnam? Do you feel like it really enhanced the story?
Not really.
Like, because at a certain point I was like, why do we keep going back to this? I don't care about that anymore.
Well,
I get the point of it, and you see his ultimately what they were trying to show was his transformation.
Yeah.
It's just that the way they were cutting back and forth between protagonist, antagonist in the present, protagonist, antagonist in the past, I was just slightly confused as to who I was supposed to be rooting for in that fight scene in Vietnam. I think that they should have just wrapped that shit up as the opening of this episode. And you see how he ends up becoming Kreese. I didn't need it to sustain itself through the entire show.
Yeah, but I mean, they're also planting that seed of whoever that mystery person is, his friend.
You cut back to that later on
in Vietnam. So like he's gonna
cut back to that. What you do is for the opening, you have him hanging over the edge, right? Come on, pull me up. Cut. That's the intro of the episode. Come back to that later on after the war's over, and the guy's like, anything you want. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? You don't have to have it peppered throughout the entire episode.
Sure.
I kind of was hoping to see a rekindling of their old love. I know that Johnny's got the boo back at home, but like I kind of wanted him to do it wrong. I kind of wanted to see where that was going to go.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's fine. Like he's got a good thing going on with that girl,
Well,
homegirl.
I think that's like, it's just kind of showing the more
Mature, yeah.
choice, and I liked that. I mean, obviously, as human beings, we're
He
drawn to drama.
He didn't make it on his own, though. I mean, LaRusso's wife interjected, and she said something about Johnny's woman. That's the only reason he didn't bring it up on his own.
Yeah, no, I get it, but sometimes, you know, you need that little jolt from someone else in your life to kind of come and give you that realization that was kind of percolating at the back of your mind, but you just kind of needed that external eye or someone who's not really in it to be able to go, you know what, this is what you need. And I love that because
I hate that.
I think, I think all the time we're always like, oh, you know, what about the romance in the story? And it's like, why can't we just be good friends to each other? Like, why can't we just appreciate that we had this beautiful thing in the past? Or like, as Ali said, like she'll just remember the best parts of it because they far outweighed the bad, and then just like enjoy each other as people and help each other as friends, you know, and just wish the best for each other. I really like that.
No, I get it. From a screenplay standpoint, it works. It's effective. Like Johnny's been pining after his old girlfriend for a while,
Yeah.
And when he finally has her, he realizes that he's already got something really good, and it's not worth screwing it up.
Yeah, and it's not just that either. It's like that whole idea of like Johnny this whole time has been living in the past, like the vernacular he uses, the music he likes, the clothes he likes, the car he used to drive.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was just like, oh my God, I hit my peak in high school, and he's just trying to relive that glory. And now, you know, he's finally accepting that, you know what, my life is pretty good right now, and I can step forward and be this guy, you know,
Sure.
who's pretty bad.
No, I appreciate all that. I still just like there's a like instinctual part of me that's like, no, but go for it. Just go for it. Like you've been longing for this broad this whole time. Just go for it.
Well, like because we have a desire for drama. Like that would just be more drama, wouldn't it? You know, it would just be
It has
like
nothing to do with drama for me. It's just vicariously living through the dude of like this he clearly still has some feelings for her, and he didn't even get to kiss her. Any time that's come up in this show, that's twice you did that to me, show, because Ralph Macchio, Daniel's son, went to Japan, didn't kiss the girl. He didn't do anything with the Japanese girl. And then Johnny does the same thing. I suppose it speaks to them being similar, if you want to like really like stretch that philosophy out. But neither one of them did anything with the girl they had strong feelings for in the past.
But it's also a testament to their characters, because it never once crossed my mind that Daniel LaRusso would be the type of character that would cheat on his wife.
Sure.
That is just so out of character. Then if the show did that, then I'd be asking a whole bunch of other questions, because I'm like, wait, no, this isn't the character that you made him out to be.
Sure, that's fair. Yeah,
I mean,
you're right.
Johnny, I'd buy that. If Johnny did that,
all right,
I'd be like, yeah, I mean, that's totally in line with who you were, but it's not in line with who he's becoming now.
I just wanted to see where that was going to go. Like, where would that relationship have gone?
With Ali?
Like where would it have gone? I was just curious. Like I can kind of already see the future of what's going to happen with Miguel's mom. Like that's not really going to. How much further can you take that relationship? Honestly, what other conflict can you introduce that hasn't already been explored in the show? Whereas with Ali, it's like you have a new set of problems for him because of class issues or whatever. Like she comes from a completely different world. Although that might just completely distract from the show. So
yeah,
I'm just saying like that would have introduced a new set of. It just would have been cool to have them all back. It's an excuse to have the old gang back in the show. That's all I'm saying.
Sure.
So anyway, it was neat to have her back in the show at all. I didn't expect that. I mean, I kind of expected it, but I'm like, there's some reason they didn't have her in the show earlier in the seasons.
Yeah.
So, but like, I was like, maybe she just didn't want to come back, and her being here was a nice, pleasant surprise. I liked the what do you call it? Not the ballroom. What's that place called?
The country
clubhouse,
club.
country club. I thought that was neat. these kids go into the house. This whole fight scene was interesting because it's like it had its moments and it also had some goofy moments.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is like you can see who the stunt guys are and you can see who are like the actors.
The actors, yep.
And it's just so fascinating that the people who are throwing amazing moves have no lines except for bitch. Like they really have nothing to say except for like some moments just to like fill in the gaps in this fight scene because they were really trying to have a like a one take kind of thing going on.
The idea was really cool. The way that they were shooting it was really awesome. But yeah, because of the limitations of how it was shot, there were definitely moments where you could see like, you know, people pulling punches or like this one like clearly like swung over their head or, you know, this kick kind of missed. But like the idea was really cool and it certainly felt very, very thrilling and visceral.
I think it's kind of hilarious that she went for nunchucks that are padded.
Yeah, no, I wasn't impressed by her nunchucks.
Nunchucks, well, see,
they're hard though.
To me, whoever decided to integrate nunchucks, I really don't think that was the choreographer. I could be wrong. I seriously doubt that was the choreographer that came up with that. I feel like that's something that the director or writer was like, it would be so cool if we could just have, and so they threw it in there. Nunchucks, I think, are the hardest weapon to integrate into a fight scene.
Yeah.
The only time I've seen it successfully done, I think, was in Ong Bak 2. That was the only instance where I've seen nunchucks used, and it was like effective as part of the fight scene. I mean, setting aside Enter the Dragon. Nunchucks are a very difficult weapon to integrate into fight scenes. They're very
they're unwieldy.
They're unwieldy, yeah.
Yeah, and they're just difficult to use.
And I didn't like that the girl fight involved weapons. At a certain point, I wanted the weapons to just go away and it just be between the two of them. But I guess they're reserving certain things for the final season.
That makes sense, actually. You know, now that you say that.
Yeah, because it's going to be like actually fisticuffs.
Yeah.
In the final episode. You know, even for these Cobra Kai students, I suppose they've set it up well enough. I was just a little bit shocked that they actually went to Daniel LaRusso's home.
I know that kind of bugged me a little bit because I was like, why are you doing that? Like, why are you breaking and entering? Like, what? Just, I don't know, do it in a park or at the shopping mall or something.
Yeah.
You know?
The fight scene with Kreese in the dojo was interesting because I feel like the team behind this fight should have done a better job of integrating moments with Kreese throwing a punch or taking a hit. Because, I mean, for me, I could always tell when it wasn't him. It's just that simple. Like, I can always see when it was a stunt guy from behind. It seemed...
I couldn't.
Really?
I guess I was just like more wrapped up in the story that I wasn't really trying to look for the seams. But also because I don't really know.
Yeah, that's fair enough. No, that's fair enough. It just looked
out
to me. It's like, okay, I was talking to Sintel the other day about the Ahsoka fight scene in Star Wars and Mandalorian, right? And he goes, you know, I love Rosario to death and all, but like, she just doesn't know how to wield a lightsaber. Like anytime, and we both like concluded that whenever she looked good, it wasn't her.
Right.
Right. And it's the same thing here. It's like when you see him moving fluidly and whatnot, like someone who's spry and in their 20s, it's obviously it's not him. It's someone from behind. And so the way you fix that is you don't have someone. I mean, he tried. Whoever the stunt guy was, I think tried to imitate his movement, his physicality, but he still moved like someone much younger. In general, Kreese does not. He's got a very strong center of gravity.
Yeah, he's very solid.
He's very solid the way he moves, and so the fight scene needed to complement that, even from the stunt guy. The choreography needed to complement someone who has a strong center of gravity in how he takes the hit, in how he delivers the blows. And I just felt like that was kind of missing in favor of a more grapply fight that would have been between two people who were younger. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
And I wish that they found a better way to integrate moves for the actor to do for the fight scene, just so like, okay, so we can see it's him like in the middle of it, then cut to behind like they were doing for most of the fight for the more complex movement and the more dangerous movement and whatnot.
I thought Johnny looked really good though.
Yes.
I liked what he was doing. It looked, I mean, to me it looked like he was doing a lot of that himself.
No, yeah. I think it was mostly him. I couldn't that's the thing with Johnny, if and when they substituted a stunt guy, I didn't notice.
Yeah.
It wasn't something that my eye picked up. It was particularly with Kreese, I just noticed a lot because the way they staged it okay, this is my same thing with, I hate to bring this back up, but like with the last episode of Mandalorian with Luke, I can tell when, like, how the camera was staged in such a way so as to not increase the budget costs and all that stuff. You know, it was very limited in the way that they shot it. They deliberately cut off his neck from certain angles, or they deliberately kept him in one spot, and the cameras were often locked off and not moving in and out and stuff like that.
Right.
Characters didn't interact in order to keep the budget down. Here, they didn't ever have him turn around in the fight. So in order to keep it simple, they just had the stunt guy always like fighting at this particular angle, so his back was always to camera.
Gotcha.
And it just felt a little bit constrained in that regard. I'm like, no, well, realistically, they'd be tossing and turning and stuff like that. And so that was all. It was just a little bit limited in the way that the stunt guy was allowing it, because he couldn't show his face, obviously, as a double.
Yeah.
You know, that's all I'm saying. It wasn't for like a move, he takes a hit and does a twirly flip into the ground or something. It was like for a lot of the fight, you only saw Kreese's back. That's all I'm saying.
Right, yeah.
So that's why it's like, for me, I know for most people it doesn't matter. For me, it sort of ruined my suspension of disbelief with the fight. And I especially wanted to see a 2-on-1 fight with Johnny and Daniel against Kreese. But like, that would have just exploded the complexities of this already complicated fight, because you're dealing with someone who's geriatric. It's like, how do you pull off this fight with someone who's so much older? You know, it's like, it's a very complicated thing. So I'm saying all this understanding how hard this is to do. You've got 3 actors who are well outside of their prime. Like, this is very hard. I get it, and I respect it. I respect what they did. It was very serviceable. I liked it. I liked the fight scene overall. The emotional stakes for me were the stronger part of all this.
Yeah,
you know,
just throughout the show.
Yeah, Johnny having to fight his instructor. I mean, I suppose that's why they had the Vietnam parallel, because, you know, they had Kreese fighting his instructor at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so many things in the show, they just kind of have the parallels, and you've got moments in the show where they call back to the original movie series.
Yeah.
They've done it really well.
Yeah. I wish that they shot the Vietnam stuff on film.
Just to give it that look.
They should have shot it on 16 mil. Like, the thing about it is, it had such a clean look to the point that I felt like I was watching like a documentary, not a documentary, but I guess a documentary with a reenactment.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's got that weird, like, very clean look that, you know, it's actors who are like doing these. And that's what it felt like I was watching. And if they just shot it, I know that it's more expensive.
That's what I was going to say.
But if they shot it on, 16 millimeter film is, the whole processing of film is complicated, I guess. But I don't think it would balloon your budget that much to shoot that portion of the show on 16 millimeter.
Can't you just do that in post? Like, just slap a filter on it and be like, there we go. It looks old now.
I guess you can. I suppose you can, but it just there's just something different about it. The way that the excerpts look of the past, it looks like it's shot on 35 millimeter film. It's got a very like particular look to it.
Right.
And what they should have done was they should have found out what film stock they used, what cameras they used back then, and whatever, just to like fully replicate that bygone era.
Yeah, but I think like for a show that was supposed to originally air on Netflix.
YouTube.
YouTube.
YouTube's got money. YouTube's owned by Google. They got the money.
I know they have the money, but I don't think they're spending that much money on Cobra
They
Kai.
should. The Google's got money to burn. Call it a write-off. Like the Google's got money to burn. Like I said before, it wouldn't have ballooned the budget up that much to go and get that stuff. Digital is just.
It's convenient.
It's convenient because of the speed at which you can get things to post. Like, you can see things more immediately in terms of like what you shot. You know what it looks like, so you're much closer to the final product when you shoot digital. Like you already know basically what it's going to look like, right? So film is more complicated in that regard. However, with what they're doing and the nostalgia and all that, I'm standing my ground on this one. They should have shot the past stuff on film. They should have shot the past stuff like they did the old movies. At the very least, they could shoot on 16. So it almost has that look of the documentary stuff. I mean, I think that was 8 millimeter, but still, like, if you shot on 16, it would have had that sort of rough around the edges look, and it would have really put you in that era, I think. I know that's complicated.
I mean, that's a stylistic choice, and I guess that's like down to the director and producers and stuff as well. I mean, obviously, if you made this movie and if you made this show, then that's what you would want to do, and you would fight tooth and nail to make that happen.
That, or they should have just had a better DP for the Vietnam stuff, just because it looked like a set. It looked,
Yeah.
And the snake pit just made me wonder, like, do snake pits like that actually exist? Like, is that a thing? How do those snakes stay alive? Who's feeding all of those snakes?
I'm sure that at some point they just eat each other.
So I immediately was thinking about that. It looked like something out of a Mortal Kombat game.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay,
it was a little wild.
that's a lot of snakes. If it was a handful of snakes, I'd be like, all right, yeah, I get that. But it was like something out of Indiana Jones. I was like, what? This is Vietnam.
They literally just scoured the jungle and found every single snake in Vietnam.
Yeah.
And then just threw it in the pit.
I was like, this is a bit much, isn't it? Am I the only one who's thinking this?
Super dramatic.
It was yes. I mean, it was certainly startling. It just doesn't feel like this is coming from the same show or movie at that point. You go watch Karate Kid, it's not feeling anything like that Vietnam fight scene,
Yeah, I mean, the Vietnam stuff has a very different vibe to the Karate Kid movies, for sure.
I mean, that Vietnam fight scene doesn't even feel like when we first met Kreese in the show, in the younger Kreese from whatever era that was. Overall, it was fun. I just kind of wish that they found a way to maintain the tone of the movie, because it very much became like this a Starsky and Hutch sort of show by the end,
Yeah, but like I think overall it was super fun.
No, it was.
I just wanted to add one thing that I thought was really neat was that Johnny had to fight Robbie, and
I like that.
I liked that moment a lot, and I liked that he was very much like, no, I'm not gonna hurt you, I'm not gonna fight you, and then ultimately just through reflex he like slams him into that locker, and then he's like, oh shit. And it's like a very human moment for Johnny, because like he's trying so hard to be that good guy, and then occasionally, every now and again, that little bit of his past self or whatever comes through, and then he hurts someone accidentally or he does something wrong, and it's just like, oh no. I just like that he's really fallible like that. And I
don't think it was his past self though. I think it was just a reflex.
Well, yeah, that's what I said. Like it was his reflex just kind of coming through. I mean, if you're being attacked and like you're trained like that, I guess it's hard to just switch that off.
Maybe not even a reflex. He was just trying to toss him to the side. And he just happened to toss him with such force that he banged his head onto the...
Yeah.
Like, I don't think... It seemed like he didn't even realize the lockers were there.
Yeah,
like
he
just
was
wanted
just
to toss
trying
him.
to get him off.
And then he happened to send him into a locker. And that looked pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
I thought that the way that was handled was nice. I can't think of too many films where... Maybe my memory's short right now, but I can't think of too many films where you have a son turn on the dad like that, and the dad's just like... I mean, you've seen that kind of thing happen in fight scenes, but not between a father and son, usually. I feel like I remember that as Captain America Winter Soldier, where Captain America, like, says, I'm not going to fight you, Bucky, or...
Yeah.
Stuff like that's happened, You've seen that a lot in movies, but not between a father and son too much. And so I thought that was pretty neat. Like, it adds an extra level of, holy shit, like your son is turning on you in a martial arts situation.
Yeah.
And you...
Oh, and then when Kreese says, like, let's go, son, I was just like, oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh, the choice of words.
Right.
How mean.
Yeah.
Twist that knife in my heart.
Yeah. Yeah, I like this episode overall. I thought it was pretty cool. Yeah, it was a very ambitious fight scene in the house.
Very, very. I mean, there were some really cool things that happened, like when Miguel finally got his shit together. That finishing move he did was pretty badass.
I kind of wish that they had a moment like out of Dragon the Bruce Lee story. There was this scene in Dragon the Bruce Lee story, which, by the way, is like 20% accurate. It's not a very accurate movie.
It's a very entertaining movie,
it's a very entertaining film. It's a very well-written movie. In the film, there's a scene where Bruce Lee has a rematch with someone who beat him, right? Mm-hmm. And in real life, Bruce Lee never lost to that guy.
Okay.
In real life, Bruce Lee kicked that guy's ass. But for the sake of drama, in the story, they have it where Bruce Lee gets his ass handed to him by this dude, and the dude messes up his back.
Oh, yes, I remember.
So Bruce Lee recovers and all that, and he has a rematch with that same guy. And in the fight scene, the dude kicks him in the back again, and Bruce Lee has that moment of like, oh my God, my back. In real life, Bruce Lee was plagued with back problems. Had nothing to do with that fight. Anyway, what I'm trying to get to is, you have that moment of like, oh my God, is it over again? Is this my end again? And Bruce Lee's like, whatever. Somehow his character finds the strength to get through that moment, kind of like in the show, and comes out of it and just beats the shit out of the guy, and it was amazing. And so here, I wanted that moment where, because it cuts to a flashback of him hearing something or being told something like, in the
while
coma.
he was in the coma, yeah.
Which was cute. But I wanted it to be, because he's like falling on his back and falling on his back. I'm like, God damn, wasn't he paralyzed for a second? So I wanted a moment where it's like he's fucked up again. And he's not sure if he's going to, like, just like Dragon. I wanted them to rip off Dragon, the Bruce Lee story, where it's like he's not sure if he's going to be all right. And then he just has to, like, freaking will it and then kicks the dude's ass.
Yeah.
By the way, the Asian guy as an antagonist in the show really grew on me, because in the beginning I wasn't sure how I felt about him.
Yeah.
And he talks a little funny, but like by the end of the season, I'm like, I love him as a bad guy. He's such a dick.
An asshole.
He's such a dick.
Yeah.
But he plays that character so well that I'm like, he's a really good villain, actually, is what I realized, because I hate him so much. And it's like he's playing into that so perfectly, and it doesn't feel like a put on. It feels like this is a guy I've totally met in real life.
Yeah.
This is a guy I've went to high school with. Like, I know that guy. He's a dickhead. And so he's so that he's a good actor. He's believable as that guy you just want to punch in the teeth. Like, you buy it. And so when he's going through the fight and doing everything, I'm like, he's the best one, because he's actually able to move really well, and you buy him as that Chad, as that chump, like that guy you just want to fucking sock in the face. I buy him. I completely buy him through and through. There hasn't been a single moment, now that I'm looking back on it, there hasn't been a single moment where I didn't believe him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, you're right.
It's like, that was a weird realization for me. Yeah, overall, I mean, I had fun with the show. So just to make it clear for the record, like, I have had complaints throughout the season, but I enjoyed the show, and I'm looking forward to season 4.
I really, really enjoy it.
I thought there was a lot of good stuff there. And I mean,
oh my god, and the music too. I feel like they went all out with the banging 80s tunes for this episode, for the finale episode. I was like, yes, please. They spent all their music licensing money on this episode.
Yeah, it's cheaper to shoot on 16mm film and process that footage than it is to license one of those songs.
Yeah. That's why they ran out of budget for the 16mm film, because they were busy licensing Phil Collins.
Because you're like wagging your finger at me going, well, it's expensive. I'm like, no.
But people love music. People will not care as much about a 16mm film.
It would enhance the show. If you can afford Phil Collins, you can afford some 16mm film or a better DP to shoot the Vietnam stuff. Anyway. Yeah, overall, fun show. I can't enjoy the music as much as you, because I'm always thinking about the editing. I'm always thinking about, like, how's that going to work out with the copyright claims and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, you may not even have heard any of the music at all in the cut down.
It's the only time I get to enjoy music and something like this is when I'm watching it in the theater, or just for leisure. It's harder to enjoy music when I know it's copyright music. It's harder for me to enjoy it.
You're like,
and
must
just enjoy
turn it down.
Yeah, that's my instinct. I'll put it away.
Stop. Bring back that copyright-free music.
So overall, fun show. Looking forward to more of it. And you guys, thanks so much for hanging out. And hopefully you enjoyed the reactions and discussions over the course of this entire season.
Yep.
Thanks for hanging out. If you're watching this on Patreon, thanks so much for supporting us here. If you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe, bell icon, all notifications. I'm Jaby Koay. This is
Achara Kirk.
Peace out.